Hey there, welcome everybody to another episode of the Paint Party Livestream. Oh, I'm getting paint everywhere. So glad to have you with me here in studio again. Another freezing cold Monday here in the mountains. It is about negative 20, probably negative 20, 22 degrees Celsius and about, I don't know, maybe 0 degrees, 1 degree Fahrenheit. So very, very cold. It will be very cold for the next 3 days and then warm up to about freezing probably by the weekend. But it's great to have you. So glad to have you, those of you that are popping in as we go live. I always meet with you here in my studio on Monday evening, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, 6 p.m. Mountain Time. It is my Learn to Paint journey. Several years ago, I started teaching myself to paint using primarily YouTube tutorials, and this is my journey. The beginning of last year, I transitioned to oils, so I now paint pretty much exclusively in oils, and I'm still learning that medium, making mistakes, but it's a lot of fun, and I'm glad to have you with me in studio. If you've been here before, you know how it is. It's really laid back. We're just here in my studio in my house, and so just count yourself a friend. Come on in. You can participate in the live stream wherever you're watching this on whatever channel, I guess not channel, but a platform. You can participate through the comments. So feel free to ask questions or to make comments or suggestions about the painting. I always enjoy interacting with you as we go through these live streams. And we are hitting kind of a milestone. I think this is episode number 159. So as you can see, several years of weekly, there were a few weeks where I missed, so not quite 4 full years of weeks, but a significant number, 159, my goodness. Heading on the backside towards 200. So it's great. And this has turned into a really wonderful thing for me as well, because it keeps me consistent. It keeps me in the studio at least once a week and makes me practice my craft. So I'm grateful to you, and I enjoy having you here as I learn. All right. For the last few weeks, we have been working on paintings here in my studio, clearing out paintings that I had partially started. We got through all the ones that were in oil, and then I have a big pile, literally a pile of paintings that are started in acrylic. And so we are going through these ones that are decent, or what I consider decent. These are from years and years ago, and I am bringing them back and finishing them in oil. This one behind me on the easel is one that we started last week. I've worked on this a little bit digitally. I'll show you what I'm doing with it, and we'll continue this evening. So if you were here last week, I think you'll really enjoy it. And even if you weren't, you'll get to see kind of what we've been working on and kind of the adjustments I have made to it. So let me get this camera set up on my canvas, and then we'll get started. So while I set this up, I'll turn you over to this camera here so that, so that you won't get motion sick when I move this camera around. How has everyone's week been? I hope you have had a great week. Please pop into the comments and let me know how's it going. Feel free to like I said, make comments, suggestions, ask questions. Always glad to have you. Welcome, welcome. I see several more people popping in. I just see the number of people watching. So I just see more than there were. So thanks for popping in. Glad to have you. Please make yourself at home. Ask questions. Make comments. We will get this set up. Let me show you what we're working on. So this is the reference that we were working on. This is the original reference. And then I wanted to change, I changed the road a little bit on the original painting. The road is still not correct, but I took this into Procreate on my iPad this week and did some additional work. It's not quite where I want it, but it's closer. This is what I did on Procreate. So you can see the painting is the mountain. That's actual painting. But then what's in front of the mountain is digital. I've adjusted the trees and the road so it's a little more realistic. And then the clouds, I took some clouds from another reference photo and kind of superimposed them and then did some digital work around them. And so we will work on those. Hola Ed, boa noite. And so that's what we will continue. We'll kind of work on these clouds and bring this over to the camera or over to the painting. So let me pull up my, let's see. Let me put my, that is my palette area. You can kind of see, we'll get this paint, some paints put out on the palette. I want some paints out there, and then we will keep working. I think I'm gonna want some, I mean, we'll see. We'll probably work on the mountain a little bit, but yeah, let's see where we go. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So glad to have you all joining. Okay. Oh my goodness. Now there it goes. My camera wasn't wanting to cooperate. Okay. Let's see. Actually, I hate having to do this to you, but I'm gonna set it up above, hopefully cut some of that glare that's on the painting, but I don't know that I can. We'll plug in this camera so it doesn't die on me. But your view, let me show you, your view is a little, let's do that. Let's move this. There we go. You still get a little glare up here, but I'm going to try to minimize that. It's just my lighting, unfortunately, in this space is so so limited. I can't move you too close. I hate. This is a really big. I've learned on my live streams to do smaller paintings because I can get the camera much closer. But this is probably a 20, maybe 20 by 14 or 18 by 14 or something like that. So it's pretty big. But, all right. Good night. We got quite a few people popping in. It's wonderful to have you. So glad to have you. Let me get some gloves on, and then we'll see if we can put some of these clouds in. Let's see. At the end of the live stream last week, I messed up these clouds. I was trying something and I didn't like it. But then I went back and did the mountains, and I really liked how the mountains turned out with this kind of hyper, I don't know, hyper color, hyper concentration of color. So we'll see what we can do with these. But I think what I want to do, what I'm not sure about in the the top reference where I have the digital, it has those lighter clouds out over here, but I'm not sure if that distracts or is going to distract the eye. Hey Sharon, so good to see you. Thanks. I really am happy with how this turned out and how it looks, that bright orange and red kind of, I don't know, it's almost southwestern colors, but it just looks cool, especially when the clouds are fixed. But I'm not sure whether to do those light clouds like the sun is shining out over here, or if it's going to distract. I can put a tree there so it pushes the eye back in, and I'm not sure if that draws us with the larger. That was my goal, to keep it kind of a moving in towards, and then we'll have trees over here that guide the eye in, and this will pull the eye in, and the road will pull the eye in. But yeah, I'm not sure if you all have any suggestions or opinions. That's kind of the goal, but I'm not sure with these clouds what to do. The other thing is I thought about switching it, but this would be kind of, and putting those light yellow clouds over here, and I don't know, and then putting the stormy clouds this way. But let's just see what happens. I know what I want to do actually is, I don't know what brush to use for this though. I need some more filbert brushes. I really like this filbert, but maybe I can use, oh, that's a mess. Maybe I can use one of these. It'll be, I don't know, they get so, maybe this one. We'll see. Okay, let's just work on it. I want to bring that dark back over, so let's do some of that. I know that I want that dark in the I know that that's what I want in the clouds over here, so I want to bring that back, cover up that, and then it'll help us, I think, make the I took too much that blue. There we go. Let's see. It's a little more brown than it was, but will really kind of cover some of this dark up. Anywhere where I kind of brought in that lighter orange, want to kind of take that back out. This is what's fun because the colors are a little bit different, even though they're they bring part of this is just patience and trying things, and when it works, and you're excited. But notice how orange this looks against that blue, and it's just a little bit, I just mixed it a little bit different this time than I did last time. A little less blue, but I do think I like the really kind of dark blue over here, like that dark. I do want to put that over here. Put a little bit of purple. And I think I do want, I don't know if I want it that dark, but I want some dark to be like, ooh, the storm clouds are really moving in. May not, I may want to change this, but for now, that's what I'm going to do. Some angry kind of. We'll just see. how that because when we do that, if we do that really dark cloud or that dark, I want to put some more paint out. If we put those dark clouds, then these light clouds will really stand out even more. Okay, now, well, maybe this will work a little bit better. What I'm trying to decide now is if I want to take these dark clouds really far down. Because my digital one has these, and I don't know if I want to bring the dark all the way out here, or if I want to keep these all really light, or if that will, I guess I just have to try something. I think I want to bring the dark all the way down here because I want the mountain to really stand out. I don't want these clouds to come up too high. I think it's really, I want to bring this dark. I just have a feeling once this painting is done, it's gonna be something really cool. Hey Bob G, so good to see you. Thanks for popping in. Yes, I agree. Like, there's just something in my gut that tells me I'm gonna get this, and it's gonna be really, like you said, it's gonna be very special. What's crazy is these little micro adjustments in value, meaning darkness and light. Like, it gives these clouds such, especially stormy clouds, you just get this real like sense of drama and sense of like power and volatility and all of these things, which is very cool to me. And again, it gives you the feeling of kind of three-dimensional feeling of shape, because you start to see all these layers of dark, and I'm not sure if I want, so what I'm debating as I paint around is whether I want to do like the digital version, which is the top version on your screen, if I want to do that kind of lighter layer of dark clouds here before the light clouds, the sunlit clouds, or if I want to bring, the dark all the way up to them. That would be really dramatic. Something like this. It's so hard. That's why I wish I had more time to work on this digital version, because it's so hard when you are painting, especially oil, because you can't, like, once the paint's down, it's wet, and I can't really go back, and I'm limited with, I can't just wait till it dries and paint over it. I have to wait, days until it dries. And so, yeah, I don't know. But I'm just gonna make a decision. Like I did this, didn't work out last week, but it gave me the idea to go look for reference so that I could do it better, because I couldn't do it from my eye or my mind. And that's what brought me the version you have in front of you. I think I want to keep bringing and just put, like, because I really want these to look like they're kind of in the distance. So let's start to shape this a little bit. We'll just bring the darkness in. It's called art. Thanks. Remind me where actually, this is the one I don't know where this is, because it's reference photo taken from the Facebook group that that photographers donate their pictures to for artists. And I honestly don't know where this was taken. I mean, to me, it looks like maybe Pacific Northwest or, um, you know, I don't know. It almost could be anywhere. All right, let me see if I can do now. I have might be able to use a dagger brush. We'll see. Let's try now our light clouds. Now, the trick, one trick, is that we have to try to dilute the color without using white. We'll have to use some white, but that's the goal, is to figure out a way that we can do this. And I probably don't have all the colors I need, but we'll try. So we want kind of this brownish. So I'm going to use burnt umber and yellow ochre, or raw umber and yellow ochre, so I get kind of this base reddish color. Then we want it kind of gray, so we probably want a little brown, because we want to cut down that red. We might want a little blue. The blue will cut down, without sacrificing the intensity of the color. So now if we take a little yellow, the yellow is so strong that we just want a little bit. That brightens it. It takes us to this kind of greenish yellow. Again, we're raising the chroma as we mix like this. It's obviously still way too dark, but if we take a little yellow, keep mixing, it comes up, Now we have almost a green, so we need a little purple, because that will help us take that yellow down. So I'm mixing opposites on the color wheel to get it as bright as I can before I add any white, if that makes sense. Still very dark. Yellow's kind of that cad yellow is the lightest. I really need, it's like a lemon. I think I need a cad lemon, a cad yellow medium probably, because this is cad lemon, which I think is light, but it'd be nice because I could bring it up with cad medium, I think, but I don't have that in my studio. And then I could, okay, we have it pretty bright. It's like it's definitely a yellow hue. So we'll want to take a little bit of purple into that to cut it back. That'll give us orange. Yeah. Then I think we need to bring in the white. That's where we start. Okay. Now, let's just see. I like this, I think. Of course, till I put it up on the, as soon as you put it up on this, I think it's a little too, I just want some more blue tone. There. So let's see. We got to get it up. It's kind of this puke mustard color. So let's putting in some shape. It actually looks pretty light on the palette. So I'm basically trying to do kind of a mid-tone, so maybe I should do more even that. So just trying to get, again, the kind of shape I want in here. Remember, you're looking kind of down on this, so these proportions probably look slanted a bit to you. But, yeah. Let's see. Oh, I don't think I want to do that. I think by there I want it kind of. I want these clouds like just very distant. I'm just really second guessing myself. I guess I can always paint it over. That's the problem. I want it to be as perfect as possible, but it's probably not gonna happen. So this is a little bit like a sculpture. I'm wanting to have this big, huge cumulus cloud, I think, over this. But then I second guess myself because I'm afraid it's going to draw away from the mountains. So I may have to paint this a third time. Just have lots of layers, I guess, which is fine. have to do a few layers on this because I see that red is so vibrant it comes right through there, even though it's diluted so much. Yeah, it's just, I don't think I should have taken that brown up into there so much, but it's what you get for drawing on the spot and trying to figure it out. Actually, I don't think it's going to. I don't think it's going to be as much a distraction from the thing as I thought. Let's do a little bit of mixing. This dark sky. It looks so, it's hard to, because of the we want to give it lots of value shifts in the clouds. That's the thing that will help sell it. All these shifts in the values, you know, you get all these where you can tell the clouds are a little bit more light in one spot than another, because that's how real clouds are. There's all these coiling levels. key is to somehow make these look like they are real instead of like weird blocks. Yeah, anyway, I can overpaint all night, so I won't. But now, wonder if I can take this idea of the wonder if I take little yellow ochre and cad lemon, what happens? Get this golden color, right? Okay, there we are. Now, can I take that and this might be a little much, so we come into here. I can get these clouds looking decent. If I go another week with them looking awful, it will make me sad. But I wanted that kind of feeling of drama and intensity that I think the dark clouds up here give it. Like, did the storm just move through, or is it coming through, or what's going on? That's the feeling I want. I don't think this is what I'm going for, but we'll see if we can turn it into what I'm going for. Yeah, I think it's way too way too sunrise instead of sunset. Thank you, Ed. That's very kind. I hope I can get what I want. I will keep trying. Okay, this is more what I want. This, so I may have to wait for another layer, but I like this brown better than the yellow. So you keep trying until something breaks through. There's all this stuff that isn't working, and then something works. I'm taking some of that yellow off so that I can hopefully put the brown back. There, maybe. Maybe. We will see. We need a little bit of then we need to take some blue. Nope. Blue. Blue. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to redo a lot of this because it's just a mess. It's all mess. Mess, mess, mess. Maybe it'll look like it's raining out here. That's kind of what I like. Yeah, I think. Okay. Just trying to establish this line of lighter clouds. I'm just not sure how to do all this. If that makes sense. I'll probably have to take this back to Procreate again and figure out how to do this well. I just don't know. I don't know. Someday I will get this. Like, this will just be easy peasy, and I'll know exactly what I'm doing. And I'll be like, can you ever believe I didn't know how to paint a cloud? Bring more of that dark into the clouds at the tip of the mountain. Ah, right in here. Yes, I agree. The challenge is this is all wet on wet now, and so it becomes a muddy mess real quick. So I may have to let it sit and then... Now, are you referring to the dark or just like more of this darker shade? I think you're referring more of this dark down into this cloud, but that's my guess. Would love some additional advice or perspective. Yes. Ah, okay. I wonder now. I don't think I can, honestly. I'll try. I don't think I can do that easily. Wet on wet. We will. Let's just see what we can do. Let's not say we can't, but my guess is it's going to be very difficult. Let's see. If we bring some of this dark into this cloud. It starts to diffuse really quickly there. Have to, because that yellow starts mixing with it, but it turns to green real quick. So I'm gonna have to, like I said, but it could be, to your point, could be a good start to for the next painting session. If I can get this the shape I want and the kind of feel I want, then I can because it's not quite the feel I want either. It's pretty dang. I want to take some of that out too. I want this, again, that's the focal point. So ooh, that's very blue. Let's mix a little bit more of that burnt umber in there. Right now I'm just going for cloud shape generally because I know the color is going to be off. The cool thing is I'll have, when this gets done, I'll have a lot of really cool texture that will bleed through. I know you're getting tons of glare on your screen. I wonder if I can raise this anymore. I don't think I can. Gives you a little idea. I know I'm going way overboard here, but this is kind of what we did last time, except it was red. We had these big old ugly clouds we couldn't fix. But oh well, we will get it. I'm kind of liking at least the shape of these out here. They're that is working for me, so that's good. You have brought the dark clouds closer to the person looking the view. Yes, agreed. Because they're coming, and that's what I'm not sure that I want, but I'm testing. We'll see. Because I don't know if I want them like, oh, it's right on top of you, or is it just passing? You know, I'm not sure on that. But like the storm is far away from the mountains. Ah, gotcha. Yes. That's what I kind of want the person to feel, like it's way off on the distance, but it's so dramatic that it's kind of also right on top of us. I don't know if I can do that. We'll see. Okay. This kind of design, or what's working here, is what I eventually want to bring over here. So I think this week I'll probably put this as it is into Procreate and kind of do some digital mock-ups like this one, because it is getting better when I do the digital mock-ups. It's just not quite, I don't think, what I want. And in the digital, I brought those light clouds all the way down here, but I really want it to feel like the mountain is, like, I want the mountain definitely to be the focal point. And I feel like with this, it's distracting a little bit, or it's not as dynamic, that sunset on the mountain. So I want to figure out how to do that. And I may be putting too much in the painting. These clouds, the dramatic clouds, may be too much with the sunset. Maybe it just needs to be the sunset and take it back to more of that overcast look of the original photo. I don't know. But we'll get there. We'll get there. We'll figure it out. That's part of the journey. I used to tell myself, are you willing to be bad, really bad, in order to be good? And that's something I need to keep reminding myself. Am I willing to be bad, like really bad? Oh, I'm sure there's people that look at this and say, oh, it's not that bad, but are you willing to make these kind of mistakes over and over and try until you kind of have a breakthrough? Well, since I don't like the clouds, it can't hurt to do, just paint over them a little bit. And maybe it'll give us some perspective on which way we should take this down the road. You know, maybe as I look at this, what if we just did, what if we had this really heavy, like, dark clouds with just this little ridge of light. You know, these really heavy storm clouds with just a little bit of light, and then these clouds here in the distance with the rain falling. Yeah, I don't know. That's a thought. It's a look. This is popping forward to me again when I kind of put some darkness back over. Then I see the mountain really popping out. And maybe it is just, you know, these or now is that too distracting, pulling the eye this way because this light. Oh, that was I don't know. Again, may take this into Procreate and just see what I can come up with. I kind of like this there where there's kind of you know what? I think I like this. I think I really, really like it. Like the dark over the mountain with just this maybe, and then maybe just on the edge of the darkness there's a, I'll have to wait to kind of do this, but I am trying not to hate them. Yes, this is, you're seeing in real time my overthinking process. And so I am determined to learn to like get what I want out of clouds, because I mean, since I started learning, I have struggled with clouds. I mean, it used to be much worse. I'm getting better, but okay, that's without my light. So let me back up a little bit. See, what do you guys think? Oh, well, you can't really see without the light, but that's kind of what it is looking straight or relatively straight on. Sorry about that light that's over here shining. Maybe I can move this up a little bit, get rid of that. I can't really. But I think by doing dark here, then it really, like this again is standing out, which is what I really want. I want that kind of by pushing it, the dark and the dark down. And I think I can come in there and do some like just on the edge. So let me see if I can show you what I'm thinking. It's so weird with this now. With the light on, because it's so much, like it's so but let's see if we can do this. Now we're going to take kind of our really dark color, see if we can come in and maybe this is just, you know, the edge here. Maybe it's this kind of, you know, gray. We get kind of that, where it's, if that makes sense. I need to kind of do more of this, probably, so that it's not then we could come over here and do a little bit of so you kind of have a little bit of I'll have to wait to get some of this because it's so wet, but I don't know. Oof, so frustrating. I really like the dark clouds you put in. They look real. I hope the darkness works overall. Yeah, this is really making me happy. So I think I just probably have to let this dry or tack up a little bit, because I think I could do something similar all the way across, basically. Where these would be, you know, we'd have, because basically we just need different value variations in value that are gonna, that's what's happening over here. But this will be, this is a little cooler, kind of more in the purple blue ish side, where this is the more yellow, just because of how I mixed it. This is more yellow, greenish, yellow tannish color side. But getting a variety of thanks, Sharon. I'm feeling not so despondent over. I mean, I wasn't despondent. I'm okay. I'll make it, but I was a little frustrated. But I'm not feeling as terrible. Just testing. I don't think I can do this so wet. This is way too many layers and way too wet. but it gives the idea of that's what I'm learning with clouds. If I can, I just need to do a lot more practice with them, because if you get the value variations right and these like really cool, you know, you have just all these, it looks like I have all these layers of, you know, broiling clouds coming out of there, but it's not. I do really like this more greenish tone. It won't be as visible, I don't think. Now this is really popping, isn't it? But I wonder. If we need to go and do some of this now. It's just all these micro variations that create kind of this cool, interesting, I should say, layers that then end up looking really realistic. If you can do and kind of blend one into the other, so you have these like lighter spot, darker against lighter against darker, all of a sudden it looks really cool. I can even bring some up into here like this. So then you start getting that really three-dimensional view. It's probably too light, but you get this you get the cool kind of to me, that's what makes it really interesting to look at, is because then you have all these have these kind of, like we have these, again, green brown tones over here, or almost olive tones. And then here you have kind of the purple grapey tones with the yellow, which works on the, for sure, on the color wheel. Purples and yellows and greens and reds, and then all of a sudden you start to say, ooh, I have a really cool cohesive painting. Again, I think when this one gets done, when I'm ready to say it's done, it's gonna, I think there's gonna be something really special about this one. Not only the image, but I have a sense, like my own development, it feels very important. Not important, but significant. And so I love that. Look at these weird shapes and colors we're getting in these clouds now. You almost think there can't be clouds like this, but I've seen them, so I know there is. Usually it's during a tornado event or a warning or a watch or something where I shouldn't be out looking at clouds. Yeah. Okay, well, I'll keep, I think we're going the right direction, y'all. So I'm going to let that dry, but I think this is where we're going, where we'll just do like this light and maybe bring a little bit of this up into here, a little bit of this. Not at all the bright I had envisioned, like the bright, but I think doing kind of this lighter swirl of clouds over the mountains is the way to go. Where we have kind of, you know, it blending down into these bright clouds over here. At least that's my gut tells me. It's going to look real cool. So we'll see. And then we'll have the really, we'll reestablish this blue sky that's like really definitive there. And I'll probably take the blue sky up around the mountain so that the mountain is, you know, these black clouds are, or dark clouds are above the mountain or behind it. Because this looks really cool to me now. Especially if let me see if I turn this off. Let me pull you guys back a little bit. And turn your camera up so you can see. Let me get this out of the way because I think that messes with it a little bit. Maybe not. But that's kind of where we're going. What do you think? We'll bring this up to, I don't know if I can take this, or maybe the problem is if I lower it, then I mean, you get glare there, kind of. There we go. That's a little more realistic. Okay, now I'm going to move you off to the side again so I can paint. But oh, we're almost to the end. I was going to say I was going to work on this a little bit. On the digital version, you can see that I have I've reshaped the, actually, I wonder if I can do a quick reshape just for the, just to kind of, so what we did is brought this more like this, then it comes pretty dramatically this way, which is I think how we had it originally years ago when I something like this. Basically, we just want to get this fixed a little bit. Essentially, we want I want to bring this tree line down a little bit here, so I want to cover that up, and then bring the road, the perspective of the road, out a little more. And yeah, I think I want to cut. So this would be, let me do this. Let's just see if we can. I don't want to put too much out. I'm gonna keep working just a little bit, maybe a little bit beyond 8 o'clock my time. Just to see if I can get some of this, the big stuff in place, because I want to then be able to fix this, paint this when I come back to it the next sitting. I am located in the United States, in the state of South Dakota. I don't know if you're in the States or Canada or Europe or wherever you are, but South Dakota is pretty far northwest in the United States. But this is not an image from where I live, although I do live in the mountains. We don't have big mountains like this. This is more kind of feels like Pacific Northwest or Rocky Mountains. Oh, you're almost a neighbor. Well, maybe 2 days away. Yeah, Idaho is, oh, I drove through there to Seattle one time, and that, my goodness, Montana, and then you hit Idaho. Just breathtaking. My goodness. Like, it's just hard to imagine. I was in the state so little, but drove through kind of Coeur d'Alene, that area. I assume it's called Coeur d'Alene. Nebraska here. I grew up in Nebraska. That's cool. Very cool. I grew up in Omaha. Oh yeah, if you're in Idaho, this is, yeah, this is like, that's why I said maybe Pacific Northwest, but probably more like Idaho actually, like this feels much more Idaho even than Montana, this view. Yeah, not quite so much what we think of as Pacific Northwest, but definitely the Northwest. Oh my goodness. Okay, this road is kind of messed up, but it's getting there. This is kind of the shape I want. I might take this back out a little bit, but that's what we're going for. It's kind of this shape. That leads the eye back to, I really want the viewer's eye to be kind of just whoosh, sucked back. And by doing this kind of really drastic perspective here, where it goes straight back and disappears almost immediately into the tree, it feels like it sets the mountain back, but it still feels like you're kind of going around the bend of this, and all of a sudden there's the mountain and you're like, whoa. That's kind of the feeling I want. Okay, I think the aspect of this road is pretty close to what I want it to be. Okay, let's step back, and there you can see where the painting is going. Let me turn this off a little bit. That's where we're going with the painting. That feeling of, like, again, you came around this corner and there it is, and the clouds and the storm just blow through, or it's about to blow through, and it's just, whoa. That's what I want the feeling to be for this painting. And it's significantly different than the original reference. If you look at that second one, the photo reference, we have definitely adjusted this significantly. So that makes me happy. The gold that you just put in almost looks like undefined mountains. Ah, up in here? Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, I may have to refine that a little bit, but yeah, we will keep working on this, because I just think there's so much potential here. That's so much more, this is so much more advanced than where I was when I started it. I painted it pretty much like the original, except the road I did have curved. That road I just corrected, that was my original road. And I was thinking the right thing, I think, composition wise, because I wanted the road, I mean, the straight road leads you there, but this gives you a much better feeling of it being set back in space. So like they are further than the mountain in front. Yes. And that's what I want it to feel, but I definitely want these to be cloud, like I want people to see those and read it as clouds. So I may just have to move some of the ones that are like more pointed like mountains. I definitely want it, but I want the clouds to be pushed back. And so I want it to feel like it's raining kind of in the background. You can't really see the marks I did for the rain, but it's like raining way out there, and the sun is catching the ridge of these, and these ones have come forward and are just really dark above the viewer, because this is all going to be kind of not dark, but in, you know, it's in the shadow. So we will darken these trees that are close a lot, and then these ones will go into the midground, and that's going to be the background, and then this will be the far background, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's where we're going. All right, let me wrap this up with you all. So I'm going to bring you back to my camera here and take some of these away. I appreciate those of you who have been here all evening or most of the evening. Those of you that popped in, like my friend Ed, I know it's very late in Brazil where you are, and so I appreciate you. I don't think Ed's still on, but I appreciate you popping in, even though it's 3 or 4 hours ahead of where I am. I always enjoy chatting with you all, sharing these. I mean, you guys saw what a nightmare this was, and I was like, I'm feeling much better about it now, saying, okay, you know, putting that dark, we had that big cloud above, and you just got to try those things. So I'm going to turn my camera around again so I can say a proper good night to you all. I hope that you will join me again next week. This will be the 160th episode of the live stream next week. So I hope you'll join me for that. Let's see here. All right, let me say good night. But first, let me show you where we are. If I can get without the glare, it's kind of hard. Difficult to do that, but that's kind of where the painting is going, and I think it's going to look really cool. Yeah, we'll just have to keep working on that, keep working on this, but I feel like this is going in the right direction. I may lighten up this edge just to kind of this color in the middle. Oh, you can't see. Kind of, I was saying this edge I may bring over to bring these a little bit further than the really dark background, but I like the way it's going, and it definitely makes the mountain just pop out right at sunset, which is the feeling I want. So thank you for staying with me. All right, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, Monday evenings here on YouTube. I am phasing out my I don't really do anything on Facebook anymore, so I at some point will probably quit syndicating my live stream there, but I am on Twitch. YouTube is the primary. I think it syndicates to LinkedIn as well, but definitely thank you for those of you popped in, especially those of you who I haven't seen or who haven't commented before. It's great to engage with you, and I always enjoy that. So Monday evening, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, we will be back here in the studio continuing to work. I don't know, this one may be done, but like I said at the beginning of the live stream, I have a whole stack of paintings that I started in acrylic that I want to finish similarly. I have about 15 lined up on my table, or I have kind of a, well, it's a half wall top that they are drying there. And yeah, Big Toad. I love that name. Thank you so much for popping in. Definitely swing by anytime you can. I'm usually here, like I said, Monday nights at 6 p.m. I'm glad to have that you have found my channel, however you did, YouTube algorithm or Instagram or wherever you found it. Yeah, that is it, I think, for this evening. I hope that you will, wherever you are, stay warm. As I said, it's really, really cold. We got an Arctic blast here. I don't know over in Idaho if you are getting this cold blast we did, but it's about, well, when I came up here, it was 0 degrees Fahrenheit, about 22 degrees below 0 Celsius. And so really, really cold the next few days. And then we're going to get up to about 30 degrees Fahrenheit, negative 2, 3, 4 degrees Celsius by the weekend. And it's great because in my little town here, we have our Winterfest, which is basically a festival about halfway through winter, our winter. I know winter is more than, it's well over halfway, but it kind of breaks it up for us. We still have probably a couple good months of winter left, February, March, even into April perhaps. And so we have a really nice little local festival, freezing cold, but everybody throws the real live Christmas trees into a pile, and the fire department does a big bonfire. In the evening, we have some things during the day for kids. The police department and fire department, I think, or the city crews build a big sledding hill out of the snow that we have around. They close off one of the side streets and make a big sledding hill for kids. And there's a lot of cool things. I love living in a small town for that reason. It's very kind of Hallmark. And then in the evening, we all go down to the visitor center and watch a quick firework display. And then the fire department starts the Christmas trees on fire, so we can all sit around a giant bonfire and try to stay warm. But I will be wearing my parka this year. I have a real parka. I think it's rated to negative 20 degrees Fahrenheit. So it definitely will keep me warmer than anything. And I will be wrapped up to the gills in that this weekend. So all that to say, I hope you have a great week and that it is off to a great start and you enjoy the rest of it. And we will see you next Monday night at 6 p.m. Mountain Time. Take care, everybody, and have a good night.